Earlier this year, we sent out a mass email to all our subscribers and we asked you guys, what do you want to see more content on? Overwhelmingly and surprisingly, you all said we want to see more bug out bag builds. I get home bag, an inch bag, and I'm never coming home bag is what that one stands for. Your bug out bag. Over the years, I've had so many customers and so many friends of mine say, hey, you know, you're putting together all these bags that other people have designed. This is kind of their ideas. Brian, what about yourself? What would you carry in a bag and why? So after a few years of listening to everybody, I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna put together a couple tiers of what I would carry. And after putting together some of the things that I would carry, obviously I have access to some of the best gear on the market here at Survival Gear BSO, so I can put together a pretty badass kit. So here we have our basic tactical 30-liter backpack. That's the most important thing. We always talk about this first aid, the ability to self-render, to treat yourself comes before anything else. I always go with North American Rescue. They're one of the products that I will not compromise on. I won't go the cheap route. Why? Because I value my life, and you guys should too. Spend the $35 or $38, whatever it is, buy one from North American Rescue, because you know it's gonna work. Gen 7 cats from North American Rescue right here. Also North American Rescue, combat gauze, quick clot combat gauze. This is the Z-Fold. I was shocked at how much of this stuff is actually in here. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of it. Man, this is compressed and it has been vacuum packed. High fin chest seals. This is for your entry wounds and your exit wounds or any type of puncture you might have to the chest cavity. Pair of the North American Rescue trauma shears. Get yourself a good pair of shears. Also not there's North American Rescue Mylar space blanket. Silver on one side for that reflective body heat that you're going to need there to regulate the core temperature, and some OD green on the other side. I put this in the front pouch of all of my kits because I want to be able to access that stuff as quickly as possible without rooting around in my pack. Always have that stuff where you know it is, and don't pollute that pocket with much else than medical stuff. It's gonna be very, very important. Also in the front pocket here up at the top, what I like to put is my headlamp. Once the sun drops, it starts to get dark, you can access that headlamp very quickly. It's actually a great little headlamp. Some elastic to it. It's got a little tacky strip here, so it's gonna stick on something like a baseball cap. I've got my baseball cap on here today. So you can put on a baseball cap and it's not gonna keep slipping off, slipping off, slipping off. It has a couple of different modes. You can do the flashlight and here, or you can turn it on and all this yellow here, this yellow strip will light up. But I like to put that in a small pouch up here. The next pouch, this is your middle-sized pouch. So some fire starting stuff. No kit would be complete without the Blackbeard fire starting kit. I'm sure you guys have seen this stuff around. We're big fans of Blackbeard. We love those guys. You can get about 50 fires out of this roll right here. One of the newer products we have is from Fatwood Fire Steels. This is the smaller version. This is the 5/16 inch with the ferro rod. All this stuff here, your handle, and they call this a practice piece. This is all Fatwood. So this is all saturated with pine resin right here, and you have your striker. It's gonna strike thousands of times, literally thousands of times. You scrape off some shavings of the Fatwood. So this is your tinder, this is your igniter, all in one. A Bic lighter. Listen, whether or not you're a smoker, doesn't matter. Get a Bic lighter, get a couple of Bic lighters and keep them on you. These things, they are world renowned. Bic, it's a staple. Like, if you don't have a Bic lighter on you, you should get one. Put one in the car, put one on every one of your bags, keep one in your pocket. If you want to get a cool little case for it, Exotac sells some cool cases. Let me put this down here so you guys can see. I've had this thing for too many years. I lost the cap to it. Got to get myself a new one. But it is a waterproof Bic lighter holder. And I put myself a nice little lanyard on there so it's always around my neck whenever and wherever I need it. But get yourself a Bic. They're like, what, $2, $3, something like that? People think this is trinkety, right? I'm always a fan of wearable survival gear. Basic for a couple of bucks, paracord survival bracelet. The emergency whistle on here, pretty valuable. You got like 10 or 12 feet of paracord here, 550 paracord. I actually used this stuff to patch myself up once. I got in a real bad position where I nearly chopped my thumb clear off. That is not a regular line in my hand. That is a stitch mark from an operation I had. So fortunately I had that on me. I was able to nick it off with my pocket knife and make a makeshift tourniquet because I didn't have a real one on me. This is a basic microfiber towel. Very lightweight, very small. If you get in a situation here where you have some low temperatures, your hands dry, your head dry, or if you're in high temperatures and your feet are sweating like crazy, hey, blisters can be your worst enemy. So if you're doing long walks, going through the woods, take a little bit of time, sit down if you have the opportunity, dry your feet off, dry in between your toes, because that is gonna make your life a lot more bearable. And this tiny little thing actually comes out to a fairly decent size here. This is it. So like I said, nice little packable microfiber towel, weighs next to nothing. It's more of a comfort item to have. As you guys see, I always wear some sort of compass watch. Wear this stuff almost every day, so we offer you guys a compass watch as well. A life bivvy with emergency whistle. This is a nice little sleeping bag. It is made out of Mylar, a heavier duty Mylar. So you would say to yourself, well, why do I need the Mylar emergency blanket and also the life bivvy? Well, the blanket is a blanket. This thing is more like a sleeping bag. It is sealed at one end. So you're not gonna get, if you're in those conditions where it's chilly weather, that cold air flowing in from the bottom end, and you're not gonna get your warm air flowing out from both ends. You just have to seal up one side. So it comes in this nice little stuff sack with an emergency whistle on it. Listen, duct tape is great. It is, but go with Gorilla Tape. So we put a roll of Gorilla Tape in here for you guys as well. This is that 1-inch Gorilla Tape. I wanna say it's like 30 yards. This stuff is fantastic for patching all sorts of stuff. Let's say you get a rip in your life bivvy, or you get a rip in your clothing, you get a rip in your pack, your Gorilla Tape, it's gonna hold up much stronger than duct tape. It's generally about 3 times stronger than the leading brand of duct tape on the market. So we're gonna throw a roll of this in there for you. I'm also gonna have a basic multi-tool. It has all your basic functions. I wanna say 11 or 12 tools in it. A knife, a file, a saw, an awl, Phillips head, flat head, bottle opener, pliers, wire cutters, crimpers, yada, yada, yada. It's always great to have something small on you like this for unforeseen circumstances or situations that might pop up. Now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of it. Now listen, we're a small business here at Survival Gear BSO. We are very passionate about what we do. One of the great things about us is that when you call, you talk to an actual survival expert. We're connected with some of the best experts in the field. So come and see us at survivalgear.us. If you have any questions at all of our information is at the footer of the homepage. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share with friends and family if you think they would love this video as well. One thing we don't compromise on, and this thing's a monster. We just got these in. This is, I think, 38,880 mega ohms. This is our new solar charger. It comes with a lightning charger for an iPhone. It comes with a Type-C, and then we have a USB plug-in as well there. We got a nice little hook here. Got some flashlight abilities there, and it can go into strobe mode. And these things, although they are pretty sizable, man, they last quite a while. I was very impressed with this thing. So I just bought 2 of them to test them out myself. I absolutely loved them, and went out and bought a whole case of them. People are big on paracord. Yes, we love paracord. We absolutely do. But the reason I chose tarred bank line for the series of kits is that you can carry, what, how much is this? This is 122 feet. It's gonna be a smaller, more compact size than if you carry 122 feet of paracord. Not that much of a difference, but I am a big fan of the tarred bank line. Should you have to make a friction fire kit like a bow drill kit, I prefer to use the tarred bank line because it's a little bit more on the tacky side for grabbing that spindle there for your fire kit. That's why you put this in here rather than the paracord. This is the number 36, and this is a 1/4 pound roll. I always throw Shimog in the packs. Of course, it's going to be wrapped up. Like I said, that's my personal one there. Now for the higher end bags here for the Survivors Pro bug out bags, the higher tiered bags, we're going to go up in the blade section here, a more high quality knife. So we have Mora knife. Mora knife is, they are high quality, but this is one of your more affordable knives right here. These things go about 15 bucks. The Mora Basic 511, it gets the job done. It definitely does. I actually used this through my first survival course, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago, something like that. It was a great little blade. You know, it was an intro to survival. It was only like 5 days. So it got me through the 5 days. If I get through 5 days of doing whittling and all sorts of stuff, you guys can make it in a 72-hour pack, even longer than that, with a very basic blade. Instead of doing a folding saw like Silky, you were a huge fan of Silky, we went with a hand chainsaw. And I'm not talking about a little skimpy ass wire chainsaw that's garbage. No, I mean like an actual chain saw. So you have a real chain here, and you've got paracord handles. I want to say the average length of this from end to end is usually about 30 inches, 30 to 33 inches. But it's got some great teeth on it. It's got some great cutting abilities. Comes in this nice little nylon bag here with a clip to secure it and a belt loop should you want to wear it on your waist. We are going to upgrade those in the higher level bags. One thing we have in all the bags here, the Snugpak Stosh G2 Shelter. So this thing is awesome. As you can see, very compact, comes in a stuff sack. So this is basically your tarp. You can do an A-frame with it. You can do a plow point. You can do whatever you want, whatever configuration you want to do. Snugpak is one of the leading brands in the industry. We absolutely love their gear, and this is really great. Even if you're really cold temperatures, cold conditions, and let's say you want to use your life bivvy and maybe your emergency Mylar blanket as something overhead, you can use this as insulation underneath you, so you don't have to mess around with that conduction, convection. We put in a Pathfinder 5-liter dry bag. So here I have, it does come with a shoulder strap. I have my personal one here. This is the 10 liter, so obviously the 5-liter, half is big. But just to show you guys, I have some things packed in here. You can see how big it gets. So half the size is what you have. I always recommend putting a couple pair of dry socks in there, maybe some winter gloves for this time of year. It's a little chilly outside right now, winter hat, something like that, but definitely at least 2 pairs of socks. That's what I do. You might want to think about putting if you live in a very rainy area, let's say Pacific Northwest, maybe your fire kit in here as well. And like I said, it does come with an adjustable shoulder strap. This is another item that we did compromise on, and we want a more affordable route as far as the poncho. Now, all the ponchos we have, we like to get ponchos that have hollow grommets in all 4 corners, 4 tie-off points should you need to make an emergency shelter. Again, another shelter option here. This is heavy-duty PVC lined. As you see, it comes in this nice little flat pack here. It does have drawstrings on it. It does have a hood on it. Like I said, those 4 grommets in all 4 corners, they are hollow should you need to fashion something up with your tarred bank line as far as an emergency shelter. So like I said, we upgraded this in the other kits. Another thing I will not compromise on is water purification. So what we've done here is we've got the GRAYL. I've gone with the titanium GRAYL. Why the titanium versus the plastic? Obviously the plastic is more affordable, but the titanium, you have the option of cooking in it as well. So you don't have to carry a canteen and you don't have to carry a GRAYL. That's kind of an all-in-one deal. And we do have the nesting cup. This is the venture between Pathfinder and GRAYL. They did a collab on this. So it nests in here, this nesting cup. It's great. It's very tight, very neat. And we give you the cap. They are sold separately from the GeoPress. This is the GeoPress size, by the way, the 24 ounces, the GeoPress titanium. Normally the caps are sold separately, but we put it in there for you. And we put that right in the bottom there so it tucks in nice and neat for our pre-filter bag made by the one and only Campcraft Outdoors. These things are made specifically to fit the GeoPress, which we have here in front of us today. They also make a smaller size specifically to fit the Ultra Press. So we do give you the GeoPress size so that it fits nice and neat in there. And I'm sure you guys all know the way the GRAYLs work. You take that inner cup out of the outer cup. They all come with a filter in them. So this is your filter here, take it on and off. They're good for what, 350 pushes, I think they say. Fill up your water here. 24 ounces, release some pressure from that cap. It takes 8 seconds. Once you get some water in there, you got a little bit more resistance. It takes 8 seconds, and there's no waiting, there's no drops, there's no tablets, there's no heating, nothing like that. Press this thing down, unscrew and drink. That's it. It is a no-brainer. Clean water, very fast, on the go. So that is what's in the Survivors Pro Bug Out bag, the bottom rung of a higher end bag. Now there are a few things we don't carry, but I highly recommend putting in your pack a good pair of gloves. I would highly recommend mechanics gloves. They're great. They've got some padding on them. I just have my genuine leather gloves here. They've seen some action, but I do have them in my pack. These things are only like 15 bucks. We're gonna have in the description for each of these on the website, we're gonna have a link that goes over to this company. These are basically paragliding goggles, that's all they are. You can see they're vented here and here. These things weigh next to nothing. Like I said, they only cost about 15 bucks. Keep your eyes protected, right? You've only got 2 of them. And anybody who spent enough time in the woods, you know you're walking through the woods, there's gonna be a branch that snaps back and hits you somewhere, or you're gonna turn around and you're not gonna know that at the end of a branch is there, you're gonna poke yourself in the eye. It's not a good time, it's a very negative experience. If you're someone who wants to move at nighttime, I would absolutely, especially without a light source on, a flashlight or a headlamp, absolutely get yourself a pair of these. It's really gonna make your life a lot easier, so you don't have to walk through the woods doing one of these when you really can't see anything at night anyhow. So there you have it. That is what is in the bottom rung for our Survivors Pro Bug Out bags.